21 years, Happy Meal toy that still works, that's impressive.
What a piece of junk.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys in the Attic. I'm your host Vic. I'll be showing off some of my collection today. I want to do something a little different again instead of opening up boxes. First off, while I was on vacation, I received this game, a Star Wars Monopoly Saga Edition. Got this from a wise old wizard who said it was his job to mind it until he could find the chosen one. And when I came across him, it was gifted to me, so I must be the chosen one. Star Wars. And it's got some pretty cool pieces in here. All the metal pieces are characters throughout the saga, so that's pretty cool. I also have this gem. For the old-time collectors, this was mine as a child. I got the Star Wars Darth Vader helmet, and boy do I wish when I opened this up it was chock full. But no, I got rid of all my Star Wars figures as a kid like a fool at a garage sale for $9. Years of collecting, all for less than a 10 spot. And I come across a couple of things that got stuck in boxes that I got to keep. I discovered girls at an early age and decided I didn't want to have Star Wars stuff in my room when I had visitors. So foolishly got rid of stuff. But I maintained some stuff. This was a 3D sculpture that I got as a gift one year, and we put this together and it was pretty cool, except it was cardboard, and living down here in Florida, it's dusty, and so this thing got a lot of dust on it and I couldn't keep it nice. But I saved the box, and the box is filled with some goodies. So we're gonna look in this box and see what we have in here. I'm already seeing some pretty neat stuff in here and some odds and ends. So let me get on my spectacles here and see what we got. Now, I said before we had opened up a lot of figures. This looks like we opened up an R2 at some point that had one of the flashback photos. R2 from Return of the Jedi, and then from Episode 1. This looks like a Burger King toy of some sort. Godzilla, whoever owned the rights to the Godzilla Happy Meal toys. So this next thing was given to me by my daughter when she was very young, and I've kept it all these years, and it got to stay in here with my Star Wars stuff. They have to be Gonzo eyes, something. Those are cool though. I've had these 25 years. Pretty sharp, right? Finger eyes. Cool. That's for you, Ash. This looks like some kind of probe droid. They came with a figure. I want to say they came with a Darth Vader, which I don't have the figure for. This here was a Queen Amidala. I believe it was a kid toy from Burger King that when you opened it up, inside was Padme. Looks like I have another one. This one opens up and there's nothing inside. I want to say this one had Leia. So here's two different Queen Amidalas, Happy Meal toys of some sort. Also, the planet of Tatooine. Like, how freaking cool is that? I got Tatooine. You hit this button here and you open it up. Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn out in the desert dueling. That's pretty cool. And that the fact that it still works after, we're talking 21 years, Happy Meal toy that still works, that's impressive. Most impressive. Okay, so these toys, apparently now it looks like they came from Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken. So Kentucky Hut, what's inside this? We got a Sabuba. So I have a Sabuba in a bag, and I guess when you wind this guy up, he walks. There it is, Episode 1 toys. More Episode 1 toys. This one's cool. This is like one of these shadow boxes. You got Vader. And you got Yoda. Nicely done, Taco Bell. That's actually pretty cool. It turns out I have another Queen Amidala. It's either I had a lot of kids or we went to Taco Bell a lot. I like to think I didn't go to Taco Bell that much. Again, from the movie Godzilla. Looks like he's climbing the Chrysler building. That movie, we went and saw that movie in the theater. When did that come out? It's probably around the same time, 99, 98. So these came out right before Episode 1, and that was a horrible movie. I don't even think it was good at the time. But it had Hank Azaria in it. I think that's why we went to go see it. Of Simpsons fame, Hank Azaria. This looks like some kind of pod racer toy, because that's definitely Anakin's pod racer. Appears to be no other pieces in this mystery box. This strange mystery box. Here's a Star Wars card from Lay's Potato Chips. It's Newt Gunray and Rune. We're doomed! That's all the card says. I don't know why I have this. This was my gift for getting a whole bag of potato chips. It's a Darth Maul Pog. Who remembers Pogs? I was too old for Pogs. I remember Pogs. I was actually too young and too old for Pogs. Pogs was something that came out 50s or 60s. It was the top of the glass milk thing, and the kids collected them and played some game with them. And then by the 70s, nobody cared about Pogs. And then in the 90s, they came out and with all kind of collector Pogs. Well, there it is, Darth Maul Pog. Now, I don't remember buying these and don't remember getting them, but here they are, some clone troopers. So strangely enough, these are episode 3 clone troopers from Revenge of the Sith. How they got in my possession, I have no idea. I was not collecting Revenge of the Sith anything, but these are from 2005. Here's a Sand Trooper. This Sand Trooper goes to my dewback, which is not currently available, but he also looks like he's dancing Gungan style. And speaking of Gungans, look who made an appearance. One-eared Jar Jar. Good to see you, old buddy. Sad to say that we must have bought 3, because I have a sealed one. There's this one, and you have one, don't you? Yeah, that's 3. That's 3 we bought. 3 Jar Jars. Here, from the Power of the Force, this is a Stormtrooper. And I think of what I didn't like about the Power of the Force, and probably why I didn't break them out. They all had bow legs, and they looked funky. This is close to a buff Stormtrooper as you can get. If you look at his chest, it's stuck out. His shoulders are wider. His waist is narrow. It's like the He-Man of Stormtroopers. The head's too small, the chest is too big. Boo. Yeah, that's what Jar Jar said. He's like, no way. Though, I like this figure better than the original. It's Bosk from Power of the Force. He looks cooler, meaner, with a little bit of muscles. So I think it does work out for some and not for others. I don't want to see Princess Leia with a 6-pack and a set of guns, but the Bounty Hunter, sure. This is a Luke Skywalker. I'm going to say this is also Power of the Force. He's got the black glove on. Obviously, this is not his lightsaber. This is a red one. I'm not sure where that came from. Oh, I know where it came from. It came from a Vader that came with this probe droid that I no longer own. Now, this Luke Skywalker is from the trash compactor scene, and this one actually came from a Star Wars game that we owned that came with this figure. I don't remember the Star Wars game at all. I don't think it's in our possession, but I always liked this figure. Others don't agree. Again, I have him in the 6-inch, and I have a couple of different ones of him in the 3¼ inch, all with removable helmet. Luke Skywalker and trash compactor, Stormtrooper disguise. Iconic. I seem to have a lot of Return of the Jedi stuff, which is weird because I was already done collecting by maybe the end of the Empire Strikes run. I had gotten to an age where I wasn't playing with toys as much. Collecting thing really wasn't heard of at that time, and so I laid down my toys and I went on my way, and I didn't collect, although I was very much a Star Wars fan and watched Return of the Jedi. I wasn't collecting any of the toys. And yet somehow, and I have no idea how, I have mostly that left over from the old Kenner collection. And so we'll start off with this piece. Again, don't know how I obtained him, but this is the original Jabba, still moves. The Jabba playset. I own no other parts of it, not the throne, not the bowl, not any other of the pieces that come with this. Don't know how I got it, but it's from 1983. Next up in this bag here is a couple of vintage figures. Again, don't remember how I got them. We have the Imperial Royal Guard. This guy's got a robe under a robe. I really like this figure. This is from 1983. Don't know how I got him. And next up, Squidhead, also from Return of the Jedi. I don't have the accessories from him, but again, soft goods over soft goods. So for these figures to be 37 years old, they're in great shape. Last here, I have an original Jawa. This guy does not have a robe. This Jawa is from 1978. The very first playset I ever owned was the Jawa Sandcrawler playset. I had a couple of Jawas, C-3PO, R2. I had enough to do the whole diorama. That was my very first thing that I owned. The reason this guy is not wearing a robe is because this is the one that came with the vinyl cape. And I can remember being a kid hating that vinyl cape and thinking, that looks so silly on this. And then I got another one that had the cloth cape and I thought, I guess I could take this off, and I took it off. And unbeknownst to me, 100 years later, this is now worth what, $10,000? Something. We'll have to look up the actual number, but I think minting on the card is something like $12,000. And so this guy would have been loose, of course, had he had the original vinyl cape. So I just think that's a great story, and I love the Jawas. That guy could have, you know, been some money for me. So that was cool. We got to see a couple of old vintage figures. We got to see some newer figures, Revenge of the Sith. We got to see some Power of the Force, Episode 1, Godzilla, and some random toys. And so maybe I'll just store them all here in the original Darth Vader helmet collector case. Thank you again for joining us today on another episode of Toys in the Attic. I'm Vic. This is my collection. We'll see you next time. May the Force be with you, always.
What a piece of junk.